Right. I think this might be right. Might be upside down. JCONLY. See what got sent. My initial thoughts on the packaging is I feel like they're packaged very nicely. They look high quality. I've gotten some tattoo cartridges where the boxes are crushed. They just don't look great, especially ones that are from China. So this is really cool. Shout out to JCONLY for these. Check out all the information there. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus. JCONLY_official. Check them on Facebook, Instagram, all the goods, YouTube. See what else is in here. That's cool. Got a shirt. That's amazing. I wish I was a 2XL. Oh, well, it's from China, so it might fit me actually. They run sizes a little bit different. I think that's super cool. Shout out to them for that. That's amazing. Thank you. And it looks like we got some stickers to help sticker bomb my toolboxes, which always helps. We love all the stickers. So let's get into unboxing some of these cartridges. Let me get these out of the way. All right, so this is a 5 curve mag. They reached out to me to do this, and they asked me for the types and stacks and sizes of the cartridges that I use during tattooing. And I'm actually gonna be using these things today. So I'm actually very excited for these. So I'm going to crack these open real quick since I'm going to be putting some of them on my tray anyway today. These are 5 curve mags. I use 5 curve mags specifically for like texturing for getting in small areas such as lips, eye socket structures, things like that. Oh, that's cool. Another cool sticker. It's amazing. They even come with stickers in their box. So already they're up to par with quadrants. I'll get all the price points and everything for these specific cartridges in a bit. At first glance, they look really nice. They look really cool. They got a very unique like aqua blue color to the cartridge, which could separate them and set them apart from every other brand already. So this is your 5 curve mag. This one's going to be a 5 round liner, which for 5 round liners, I typically use them to like ghost line or create some sort of very, very light definition when I'm doing any sort of like surrealism or illustrative realism, black and gray, such as like flowers, things like that. You can kind of wash down your inks, like very watered down, to kind of ghost line your roses with 5. I wouldn't recommend doing like eyelashes or eyebrows on portraits and things like that with 5s. I would always say use like a 3. But that's just my opinion. That's the way that I do things. Not everybody does things. This is kind of cool. It's a bigger sticker. I don't know if there's a reason why some get small stickers, some get big stickers. I do think that it's really cool though that you get stickers with every box. Again, these are Vetar cartridge needles. They actually say JCONLY on them, which I think is super cool. So this really is like kind of like your own brand here. This is cool. The gauge of these needles, this one's 12, this one's 10. Okay, so I got doubled 5 round liner, I think. Yeah, I got 2 5 round liners. So I'm not even gonna break the seal on that one yet. No, not even necessary. I got a 7 curve mag, which I enjoy doing. I really do like 7 curve mags as well. I know people don't think that there's a big difference between a 5 and a 7. To each their own. I found the smaller the cartridge, or the smaller the stack of the mag is, the more saturated the black you can get, especially in smaller areas. The larger the cartridge, the softer, smoother washes and gray washes and white washes you can get. This is a 7, so we're gonna check this out. And then I got a 9 round shader. I wish I would have got like some 15 mags or something like that, so I could have really tested it on faces or 17s or anything. Again, another sticker, boom. This is the 7 curve mag. I'm excited to use them. I'm excited to try them out. Presentation, when you first receive these, I think are amazing. I actually really like the boxes. I wouldn't mind having these displayed in the shop for sale, especially at my other location where there's kind of like a little small store. I think these are really cool. I think I've never heard of them up until recently, and I'm excited to give them a go. Right now what I'm opening is a 9-round shader, and I really do use a lot of 9-round shaders. I use 9-round shaders in pretty much most of my tattoos, especially neo-trad. When I'm doing neo-traditional, I'm doing anything with line weights, my bolder lines, I typically like to use 9-round shaders for my bold lines, and I typically will use like a 3 or a 5 for my light line weights. Again, when doing neo-trad. Again, cool sticker. I'm not sure why I got one small sticker and the other ones were really big. It doesn't really matter to me. I kind of like to look for trends or things like that. I only got 1 out of 3, so maybe that was a mistake or something. So the 9-round shader, it looks really cool. I love everything. I love the size of the reservoir. It's gonna hold the ink as necessary. It looks like the needle itself is very flush to the back of the cartridge, so it looks like I'm not gonna have a whole bunch of spraying of the ink as the machine's running. I am going to be running these on my M1 today. I'm going to be running these cartridges here specifically for my tattoo that I'm going to be doing today. I'm also going to be recording it. So I am probably going to be using some bigger stacks, especially for the larger area. And for those, I'm going to use what I typically use, which are my Bishop Da Vinci cartridges. I'm going to choose my 11 curve mags. I'm going to choose a 15 curve mag. Typically I do soft background tones. For those I use my 25 mag. Also I'm going to grab a 3 liner, in which I'm going to use a Mass Pro for those. 3 there, these are out now. And I already have a 5, that should pretty much do me in. I'm doing some realism tattooing today, so I'm not going to be using a whole lot of liners. Most of these are typically going to be, most of the tattoo today is going to be mag work, and these 4 specifically are going to be primarily for some reviewing for you guys. I'm really interested in to see how they compare to Bishop Da Vinci's and the Mass Pros, in which I use Mass Pros quite a bit for my liners. I don't use any Da Vinci liners. I found using Da Vinci liners, there was a lot of play within the cartridge itself, between the actual housing and the needle itself. As far as liners go, I absolutely love their mags. Masts, they seem to be the most sturdy liners, but yeah, so between the Masts and the Da Vinci's, we're going to see how they compare to the JCONLY's. For color packing, I really like Quadrant and Peak. I use Peak quartz a lot. I use Quadrants a lot as far as actually color packing, which I can show you the boxes of those in which I'm talking about. They're the Peak quartz that I usually use, and if I don't have these with me, or if I can't get these at conventions, I'll typically grab these Quadrants for color packing. I really like them. I also use these for color packing as well. They're really the same, you know, it's all on the same to me, whatever the box color is. It's the same brand, same cartridge, just different look to them. So we're going to see how the JCONLY tattoo cartridges work today. I'm very excited. I'm going to see you guys here very soon. So let's get to it. All right. After using them, here we are for the hands-on use review for the JCONLY Vetar needle cartridges. Overall, my experience with these cartridges were very, relatively fair. It wasn't like, oh my god, these are the greatest things that I've ever used, but they were probably some of the nicer Chinese cartridges that I've used. They do have availability in different gauges. I think that maybe if I tried maybe different gauges, it might vary and change my opinion on them. They're very solid. Is it something that I would buy? Probably. I didn't see anything wrong with the cartridges when I was using them. They held ink in the cartridges very well. They didn't clog too fast. They didn't spit or splatter with my liners or my round shaders. The smaller mags that I used, I didn't get to use them. The small shaders, the 5 curve mags or the 7 curve mags like in a big variety. So it's hard for me to give the mags a true review, as I didn't have a bigger mag to select from. They weren't sent with this. So obviously for some of the tattoo I had to use my quadrants, my Bishop, Da Vinci's, and things like that for that. So I'm just really going to be able to review the liners, the round shaders that I received in the smaller mags. But as far as the smaller mags go, they did exactly what they wanted them to. They added my darks in to the smaller areas exactly how I needed them and wanted them to. They were very stable. There wasn't a whole lot of motion in the needle and the actual tip of the cartridge, which I love to see. No membrane issues, none of them broke. The needle to the actual cartridge housing didn't like fall apart. If you've ever used stigmas, things like that, typically when you go to wipe the tip of the needle off, you'll have that tip kind of pop off, which is really aggravating. I really did enjoy using specifically this color, because you can tell when the cartridge just gets contaminated or not. I did have a part of the tattoo where I smacked the side of one of the ink caps and the ink kind of like spit a little bit off of the ink cap itself, and I actually got some on this part of the cartridge. And if you didn't know, now you know. You should not put that into your tattoo machine, because all you're doing is contaminating the inside of your machine. So I'm going to open this one just so you can see kind of the details and things like that with this tattoo cartridge itself. This is a 9-round shader, in which I found a lot of use for this in the tattoo that I used for this, which would have been the compass and the anchor, as well as the like nautical star at the bottom here. I found lots of use for this cartridge. It worked really, really well for me. Again, it held the ink in the reservoir very well. I wasn't constantly dipping every line or every 20 seconds of using it. It was nice to be able to kind of work small areas and not have to worry so much about reaching and dipping every single time. I enjoyed using them because the visibility of it to be contaminated is right there. You can see if you get any ink splatter on it. You can see if there's any moisture on it. You can see if there's any ink going up into the membrane, because again, you don't want any ink coming out of this plunger bar. It's a nightmare. It's gross. And with this tattoo cartridge specifically, you can actually see it throughout. So stability was great. Quality was great. The overall design of it's really good. You can always tell it's a JCONLY because it's got the logo here. It's got it on here. Not that that means anything. It's just a good looking cartridge. So overall experience, I'd have to give my experience on this. For what I had, 5 out of 5 stars. I would use them again. Chances are I'll probably purchase some of them. I can't give you the details on the actual larger mags, so this is specifically for my round shaders, smaller liners, as well as the smaller curved mags. I'm just opening up some of the, I would say, competitors, because both of these are going to be Chinese brand. I guess Chinese manufactured. They're all Chinese manufactured, I feel like, but these are the ones who like claim their shit, which is cool. I got the Mass Pros here, which I actually love. It's crazy, because the quality of them are also great. I also have the Ambition here, which are also very, very, very cool. As far as both of these cartridges go, I guess all 3 of these cartridges go, the JCONLY Vetars are very nice. They are arguably the better looking of the 3. The reservoir itself is the largest. The color is the most attractive to me, but to be quite honest with you, I didn't know a quality difference as far as using them went. These are probably half of the cost of these. As far as cost goes, you can get some 9-round shaders for about $15.99, and the Vetars are going to be close to $25 to $30 for the 9-round shaders. To me, price doesn't it doesn't sway me one direction or the other. Again, I'd probably buy some more. I don't see the issue with these. I would like to try the larger curved mags, so I'm going to be probably purchasing some of those anyway, just to be able to test those out. Mass Pros, I don't really use anything except for the 9-round shaders, the 5-liners, 7-liners, 3-liners, and the same thing with the Ambitions, because for me, for doing this so long, I'm biased when it comes to curved mags. I have a very, very specific gauge, very, very specific brand, and very, very specific cartridges that I like to use when I'm doing like color packing, soft black and grays. Two different companies, two different gauges, everything's different, which we can get into that in another later video on why I choose these cartridges. But this one here, the only thing I can really compare is the liners and the round shaders because that's what I had. The only thing different really is the looks of them, which clearly the JCONLYs are the better looking cartridge. I think that that's very obvious. The Mass Pros are going to be, they work great, they don't look bad. I've never had a membrane break either. And then you have the Ambitions, which the only issue that I've ever had with the Ambitions is the reservoir is so little and small. Like, I guess this claims the winner. This has the best balance, obviously. No, that goes down actually to the reservoir size. It opened up the box, so everything else fell out. Ambition, the reservoir is so little and tight, and the needle obviously has no movement. I noticed that you have to really rinse it out in water if you're doing long durations of fine line tattoos and things like that. With specifically the Ambitions. Mass Pros, I never had that issue. I really enjoyed using them. You can't lose on any of these cartridges. The only difference is going to be the price points. You can look at the price points if you look at the Ambition cartridges, the Mass Pro needle cartridges, as well as the JCONLY Vetar cartridges. So in comparison, I would say the only difference is the way that they look versus in price points. Ambitions, I've only had needle clogging issues just with the smaller stacks, like 5s, 3s. 7s and 9s aren't too bad. So with that being said, this was the JCONLY Vetar versus the Mass Pros versus the Ambitions. Three of the major Chinese companies in the tattoo industry right now. So yeah, that was that, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that you guys check out the JCONLY Vetars. Make sure you like and subscribe on the page. Mention anything that you guys would like me to review and things like that, and I'll do my best to get to it as soon as I can. I appreciate you guys. It's G Dickens.